Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the next session on Snap 2021. And I am Gaurav Gupta, and I welcome once again to all of you on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. Now, friends, before I launch this session, we'll quickly go for a tech check. So, can you all please confirm, those who are present in the session, can you all please confirm if I'm audible as well as visible to all of you or not? Come on. So, I'll wait for a few seconds. The students who are already present in this session, can you please confirm if I'm audible? All right. So Kanishka, good afternoon. A very good afternoon to you, Kanishka. Can you please confirm if I'm audible or not? Quickly. All right, Kanishka. Thank you very much for confirming. So, friends, I am audible to all of you. So, I, Gaurav Gupta, once again welcome you to the next session in the series of sessions we are conducting for SNAP. Now, one of the slots of SNAP is already over, 19th of December, and we have seen a normal difficulty level. Like if I'll have to rate the level of difficulty of SNAP first slot, so I can say that the level of difficulty was like below average. Now we are left with another two slots of SNAP. The next slot is on 8th of January. All right. And after that, like exactly after 1 week, we have the third slot for SNAP. So, friends, I am once again in front of you with a discussion of the questions on data interpretation and data sufficiency from the previous year question papers of SNAP. All right. Now, though we haven't seen the questions of data sufficiency in the first slot of SNAP, but you cannot say that the same thing will be repeated in the next two slots. So you may find one or two questions on data sufficiency. It might be possible. Also, there was only one question on data interpretation, and that was a very simple question. The questions on DI may or may not increase, but whatever the number of questions are there in SNAP on 8th of January, we must be attempting them properly. All right. Okay. So, Kanishka, Bhavya, Siddharth, Harshit, Chandan, welcome all of you. Uh, Harshit, ZAT GMT past papers, not right now. So, we'll be focusing on SNAP only. Arbil says, sir, my first attempt was not that good. I panicked in between and wanted to solve more number of questions. Okay, so the exam is the only hope. Yes, so RBL, if the coming slot is the only hope for you, so what you can do is in whatever time, whatever is left with you, you must give your 100%, and I am sure that you will definitely get good marks. Okay, it's just that you must not panic during the examination. You must control, you must have a control on yourself. Okay, and whatever be the current performance, like if you are unable to solve two or three questions, so don't lose your confidence. Okay, you understand that, and you have already experienced this thing that if you will panic, then it will basically ruin your entire examination. So in case you are unable to solve a few questions, then keep going, keep building up the momentum, and solve the remaining questions. All right. Vicky says, I just took one or two mocks. Should I take more or just leave and just revise and go? Uh, Now, Vicky, it's already 6th of January and we have this examination day after tomorrow. So just keep yourself, just keep reading some light things. So what I'll suggest is don't take any other mock in the time that you have. It's just that spend today and tomorrow in revising some of the important formulas or the shortcuts, or spend your time in reading some stuff that will help you in verbal section. Okay, so just keep these 2 days very light. Okay, just devote 2 or 3 hours towards studies. Okay, and just calm down as far as your mind is concerned. Parth, I cannot say that if these slots will be difficult or easy. No, I cannot say anything. So it's just dependent on the authorities of Snap. But as far as my experience is concerned, you can be prepared for a little increase in the level of difficulty. All right. My cat was not good. Can I do good in Snap? Yes, definitely, Nikita. I am sure that you will be doing good. You will be doing wonders in Snap. Okay, so all the best and tell me what was your score. Sir, even 25 minutes were not enough for quants. Yes, Saurav, I can understand that 25 minutes were not enough for quant. But understand one thing, that you don't have to attempt all the questions that comes in quant. Okay, you have to be very selective. You have to leave the questions which are of higher difficulty level or which are lengthy. Okay, so the only key to success in Snap examination is you need to keep moving during this examination. In 60 minutes you'll have to maximize the number of attempts. It's not that if you will attempt a difficult question they will become happy and will allocate you more marks. Okay, so since every question has equal weightage, so it's the paper of time management. Okay, Anushka, try saving time. Yes, Saurav. So Anushka's take Anushka's advice. Okay, so let's start with this session, my dear friends. So we'll talk some general things. If you have any kind of general question towards the end of this session, don't you worry. I'll be waiting for all of you in case you have any questions. So let us quickly start with the questions that I have there for you. Okay. Also, I must tell all of you before I'll start this session, since this is a session based on previous year paper questions, and I have already conducted two sessions on the same data interpretation and data sufficiency. The sessions were conducted on 8th and 9th of December, somewhere around that time. In those sessions, I have also covered some variety of questions. So after this session, if you want to go back and have a look at those sessions, you may do that. Okay, so let's start with this. All right, so the first set, okay, I'm really sorry. So before I'll go ahead, I must tell you that you all can join us for Snap 2021 detailed exam analysis and question discussion on 8th of January after your examination at 2 p.m. We'll be telling you about the expected cutoffs, the difficulty level, examination pattern, and good number of attempts. All right. So let's launch this session with the very first set that I have taken for all of you today. So this is the first set. Answer the questions on the basis of the information given below. The information says that the following bar graph gives the production, exports, and per capita consumption of rice in a country A for 5 years 2006 to 2010. All right, so this is the data, and they have given you two basic formulas which says that consumption equals production minus exports, and per capita consumption is total consumption divided by the population. So in case you have to calculate the population from here, so population will be equal to consumption divided by per capita consumption. All right, so the questions may be asking for any such thing like that. All right, so the data is very simple, though the values are not given accurately, but you can estimate that this value is 170. So this is from 150 up till 200. So you can divide it in the groups of 10. All right, so 170 or 180. All right, so this is how you can pick the values from here. All right, so let's look at the first question in this set. So question number one, in which year was the percentage increase in consumption of rice? So they are talking about the consumption. All right. So in which year was the percentage increase in the consumption of rice over the previous year was the highest? Now the data is given, sorry, options are given for 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So these are the only four options that can be made. So quickly we'll calculate the consumptions. All right. So if I write the production and the exports, and the difference of these two will give you the consumption. So in the first case, I can say that 180 is the production and the exports are 120. So 60 will be the value of consumption in this year, 200 and again 120. So the value will be 80. Now here I can say it will be 240 as far as production is concerned and 130 as far as exports. So the difference, that is 110. All right, so difference is 110 in this case. All right, are you all with me? Now moving ahead, in this case, production is I can say what 225, somewhere between here, or 230 भी ले सकते हो आप, and the exports are 120. All right, so here the value is 105. So you can see that the consumption has decreased in this case. Okay, further 220 is the production and the exports are around 80. Okay, so in this case 220 minus 80, you can calculate the value. So 220 minus 80, that is 140. Now here the value has increased by 33.33 percentage. Just check if the same has happened here. So here the value has increased by 30 over the initial value of 80. Now 30 over the initial value of 80, be careful. So the increase is 30 over the value of 80, that means 3 by 8. So the percentage increase is 37.5%. Now you have to be well versed with such things. Now in this case, there is a decrease. I'll not even calculate this. In this case, the value has increased by 35 over the initial value of 105, and that is 1/3. Again, it is 33.33. So we can say that there is a highest increase of 37.5% in this value. So the answer will be the year 2008. So in which year was the percentage increase in consumption of rice over the previous year the highest? Answer will be 2008. All right, am I clear? Now let's move on to the next question, question number 2 in the same passage. The ratio of exports to consumption in the given period was highest for which year? Okay, so we have to find out the ratio of consumption and the ratio of exports and the consumption. All right, a consumption we have already calculated in the last case, right? So I can pick the values from there, 60, 80, 110. So consumption is 60, 80, 110, 105 and 140. So these are the consumptions. I just need to put exports in the numerator. Okay, so exports in the first case is 120. All right, so here the ratio is approximately 2. All right, in the next case it is again 120. Now third case it has increased to 130, then 120, and again it has reduced to 80, approximately 80. Right, now all of you can see that the denominator in the first case is the lowest. Okay, my sluggish life, will screen calculator be there in the examination? No, not at all. Okay, so in this case you can say that the value is 2, and in all the cases the value is less than 2. So you can straight away mark option A, that is 2006, as your answer. You should be picking up questions like this where there is no need to do the calculations. The answer is there in front of you. All right, so option A is the correct answer. Right, now question number 3 for the same set. In which of the given years was the population of A the highest? Now how can we calculate population? We have already seen earlier. So if I'll go back few screens, so population will be consumption divided by per capita consumption. Okay, so it is the total consumption divided by per capita consumption. Right, now all of you can see that per capita consumption is same for all the years. Okay, per capita consumption is same. So I can say that consumption for any year, if the consumption is highest, per capita consumption being the same, I can say that population will be highest for the year for which the consumption is highest. Now all of you can answer this easily. we have already calculated the consumptions earlier. Consumption was highest for the last year, that is 2010. So 2010 के लिए consumption highest था. So here you can straight away mark your answer as 2010. All right. Am I clear? So if I have written the consumption for each of these years, then answering to all the three questions has become very easy. All right. So that's it for the first set. Okay. Now let's move on to the next set. But before that, I request all of you that if you like this session, if you are liking this session, please press the like button very quickly. Okay. So do press the like button very quickly if all of you are liking this session. Now let's move on to the next set for the day, set number 2. And this is the data that is given to us. All right. So this is the data for set number 2. Observe the chart and answer the questions that follows. Now, 1 year commission earned by 5 salesmen, A, B, C, D, E. They have mentioned it in 1990, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the data is given for 6 years and all these figures are in rupees. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the first question related to this data. Now look at how I will be doing calculations for this. Saving time, no need to use calculators. Okay. In the year 94, they are talking about this year, the commission earned by salesman D, was approximately what percentage more than earned by A. Okay. So we have to find out D has earned what percentage more than A. All right. Now, looking at the difference of D and A, I can say that D is 5,200 more than A. Now, this difference divided by the value of A, 24,600. All right. And this will be the answer. Now, just look at the options. There are 3 options which are close and 1 option which is far away from them. All right. So just look at which option will suit you. I can say that just going by the conventional method, 10% of denominator is 246. All right. So 2460 you can write, and 20% will be double of this. All right. So 4920 will be 20%. And my required value is more than 4920. So my answer has to be a little more than 20%, and 21% will be the safest option to mark in this case. Okay. Again, just look at how have I calculated. So the calculation that I have to do is 5200 upon 24,600. Okay. So I've just calculated 5200 is what percentage of 24,600, and it is approximately 1/5 of the value, and the safest answer is 21%. All right. So not much of calculations is done and we have got the answer, right? Now the next question. In the year 1993, the commission of B, so commission of B was approximately what percentage of the total commission earned by 5 salesmen? So commission of B, 28. I'm just not writing the 1000 here. Okay. So मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, सिर्फ leftmost 2 digits consider कर रहा हूं. Now if you'll add up all these values, so this is 30, 30, 29, 28 and 29. So all these values are approximately equal to 30, right? So I can assume them to be 30. So अगर सारी की सारी values 30 हैं, तो sum will become 150. So you just need to calculate 28 is what percentage of 150. Okay. Or in the denominator, you will get a value which is just less than 150. Okay. Now, which option will you mark here? Now, it cannot be 30%, it cannot be 40, it cannot be 80. So the nearest answer here is 20%. Now, what we can see is the options being favorable to us will make it very easy to select one of the options. So options were favorable, they were very far away from each other. And this is what happens in the questions of SNAP. All right. So answer was option B, 20%. Okay. So there were only 2 questions in this set. Now let's move our focus to the questions of data interpretation. Okay. Now though we haven't seen data interpretation in slot 1 this year, but since the name of the section is Quant, DI and DS, so you can expect 1 or 2 questions from data sufficiency in the slots to come. Okay. So let's look at some of the questions of data sufficiency. So the first question, triangle ABC and triangle PQR are congruent. This is what is asked. So is triangle ABC and triangle PQR congruent? Given 2 set of information, triangle ABC and triangle PQR are having same area. This is statement number 1. Statement number 2, triangle ABC and triangle PQR are both right angled triangles. All right. Now read this information. I'll give you 30 seconds. Tell me which of these statements is or are sufficient to answer the question that is asked. So you have to tell me, is triangle ABC and triangle PQR congruent? I'm giving you 30 seconds. Tell me which option will be the correct answer. All right. Anushka says option A, data in statement 1 is sufficient to answer the question, but data in statement 2 is not sufficient. All right. Path says A, Vicky says C. Data in statements 1 and 2 together are necessary to answer the question. All right, Vicky. So Vicky, you're saying that answer cannot be calculated by using only statement 1. Chandan says A. Now Rajat says D. Strange. Data in statement 1 and 2 together are not sufficient to answer the question. And rest of you are saying answer is option A. Now let's look at this one. Okay. Now friends, whenever I'm solving the questions of data sufficiency, I use a negative approach. So what do I mean by negative approach? Let's have a look at this. Okay. So all of you be on your toes. Whatever I'm asking you, please respond to those queries. Now we have to find out triangle ABC and triangle PQR are congruent or not. Now, first of all, you need to understand the definition of congruent triangles. Now, congruent triangles are equal triangles, absolutely same triangles, or I can say that overlapping triangles. Okay, so all the 3 sides should be equal. Such triangles are congruent triangles. Overlapping triangles hone chahiye. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll treat both the statements individually. Now, first statement says that area of triangle ABC and PQR are same. So, areas are same of these 2 triangles. Now, can I say that, understand one thing, can I say that 2 different triangles may have same areas? Yes, I can say that. So, if I'll use half into base into height as the formula to calculate the areas, a triangle having base as 6 and height as 2 will have the area of 6. Half into base into height, the area will be 6. Similarly, if another triangle having base as 4 and height as 3 will again have the area as 6. Okay, so 2 different triangles, 2 non-congruent triangles may also have equal areas. So statement number 1 is not sufficient to answer the question. So answer cannot be option A. Area same hai, that doesn't mean that triangles are congruent. Even if the areas are same, you cannot say that the triangles are similar. Okay, that is a separate case. Now let's take statement number 2 separately. Okay, statement number 2 separately. Now triangle ABC and PQR are right angled triangles. Now you have to forget each and everything about statement 1. Areas are no longer equal. I am treating second statement separately. Okay, so second statement says that ABC and PQR are right angle triangles. अब right angle triangles है, they can be different triangles at all. Okay, so there can be 2 different right angle triangles. So again, statement 2 is not sufficient individually to answer this question, right? Okay. Now, if I'll combine these two statements, will I or won't I get the answer? Now, two triangles, equal areas, and both are right angle triangles. So again, if I'll combine, think negative. I have told you that I always use a negative approach. So what I do now is I try to think of two different right angle triangles having equal areas. So again, you can consider this example. All right. So let's say the base is 6 and height is 2, or the base is 4 and the height is 3. So these are two right angle triangles, okay, but they have equal areas and they are not congruent. All right. So even if I'll combine these two statements, you will not get the answer, or you will not be able to tell if these two triangles are congruent or not. So answer here will be data in statement 1 and 2 together are not sufficient to answer the question. All right. Okay. So towards the end, a lot of you have given the answer as option D. But earlier it was only, I believe, one student, Rajat, who has mentioned the answer as option D. There are lots of students who have deleted their response. Guys, no need to delete your answers. Okay, it's absolutely fine if you are giving the wrong answers. Important is you must understand how to deal with such questions and should be able to implement such things in your examination. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question for data sufficiency. Now look at this again. Don't be impulsive. Take your time and try to find out a correct answer. I'll give you 30 seconds for this. And please, if you're liking this session, please do press the like button. Come on, do that quickly. In case you're liking this session, press the like button. All right, so let me start solving this question slowly. Meanwhile, all of you can keep solving and then post the answer. Now, salaries of A and B are in the ratio 3:4 and expenditures are in the ratio 4:5. Okay, so A, B, salary and expenses. So salaries का ratio क्या है? Okay, Nikita says option D. Nikita, you can write D only once. Make sure ये गलत नहीं होना चाहिए Nikita. Okay, now salary are in the ratio 3:4. So 3x and 4x, I'm assuming the salaries as. Expenditures 4:5. So I'll be assuming the expenditures as 4y and 5y. Important to understand that if in the same question you are given two different ratios, then you'll have to consider a different common factor. Okay, so 3x, 4x ratio of salaries was 3:4 and expenditures I've considered as 4y and 5y. What is the ratio of their savings? So savings of A will be 3x minus 4y, and for B it is 4x minus 5y. And this will be the ratio of their savings. Now, right now, since I don't know, understand this now, since I don't know the relation between x and y, since I don't know the relation between x and y, I cannot eliminate x and y from numerator and denominator, and hence I will not be able to find the ratio of the savings. Now, once I know any relation between x and y, then I will be able to substitute one of the variables in terms of other variable and hence get a value of the ratio of savings. All right. Now this is given. Now most of you are giving the answer as option C, and Rajat again, away from the league of other students, has given option A as the answer. So let's check what will be the answer. Now statement 1 is telling me that B's saving is 25% of his salary. All right. Now saving of B is 4x minus 5y. according to the data that I have written down there. Okay. And this is equal to 25% of the salary of B. So salary is 4x. So 25% of salary is x. From here, I can say that 3x will be equal to 5y and x will be equal to 5y upon 3. Now, my dear friends, using statement number 1, I am able to get the relation between x and y. I will be substituting the value of x here in terms of y, and y will cancel from numerator and denominator, and subsequently I'll be able to obtain the value of the ratio of the savings. Okay, so answer will not be option C, so please hold your horses. So I can say that I am able to get the answer using statement number 1. Again, I'll explain this once again. Statement 1 says that savings of B. Now, savings of B, that means this expression 4x minus 5y is equal to 25% of his salary, 25% of 4x, which is x. Using this, I'll be able to get the relation between x and y, and upon substitution, I will be able to get the value of the ratio of the savings. So answer can be given by statement number 1 alone. Yes. Okay. Now let's read statement number 2, though it is not required to read statement number 2 because of the type of options. So option A says that statement 1 alone is sufficient. B says that statement 2 alone is sufficient. C says that both together, and D says that both together are not sufficient. None of the options we have which says statement number 1 as well as statement number 2 individually will be able to answer the question. So since we don't have any such option like that, no need to check statement 2, and you can straight away mark option A as your answer. Even if you will be checking statement 2, though you'll be wasting time, even if you'll check statement 2, they're saying that salary of B is 2500. Salary of B is 2500, you will get salary of A, but again, no relation between X and Y will be obtained from here, and answer will be option A. Yes, Anushka. So, questions of data sufficiency are a little tricky, right? What we do is we tend to proceed as per our convenience in these questions. You have to leave your convenience and think in all the directions. All right? All right, Vishwas. So let's see if your answer is correct or not for the next question. Rajat, prepared for next question. So this is the last question for the day, friends. Asan question hai, and I am sure each and everyone can give the answer for this question. Okay, so jokes apart, focus on this question. All right, so question says that Ram is taller than Sham. So Ram is taller than Sham, and Jay is shorter than Vikram. Jay is shorter than Vikram. Now, to make things look easy, I prefer to use same sign, greater than, greater than. All right. Okay. So Ram is taller than Sham and Vikram is taller than Jay, or Jay is shorter than Vikram. Now, who is the shortest among them? Now we have four people, R, V, S and J. So obviously R and V cannot be the shortest. Among S and J, one has to be the shortest. Without reading any of the statements, I can say this thing. Now, statement number 1, let's have a look at it. Says Ram is the tallest. Now, Ram is the tallest. That is absolutely fine. But statement number 1 has not given any relation between Sham and Jay. So answer cannot be given by statement number 1 alone. All right, simple. Next, statement number 2 says that Sham is taller than Vikram. Sham is taller than Vikram. This is additional information from statement number 2, which when clubbed with these two information will be able to give you the correct order: Ram, Sham, Vikram, and Jay. So you can say that Jay is shortest among all these people, and you can give your answer using statement number 2 alone. So answer here will be option B. Data in statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question, but statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer the question. All right. So there is no need to combine the two statements. Now there are some students who have committed mistake here. Guys, understand one thing, which is very important, and which, like, this mistake is committed by most of us. It's just because we are in a hurry. Now there's a common mistake that we commit, which is after reading statement number 1, when we go to statement number 2 and treating it alone, some information of statement 1 is left in our mind. You have to get rid of all that information. All right. So while treating statement 2 individually, you have to forget each and everything that is given in statement number 1. All right. So this is one thing that you need to understand properly. All right. So friends, that's all about this session. Hope you would have liked this session. In case you want to look at some more questions, I have covered the questions of data interpretation and data sufficiency in the sessions I have taken in December, somewhere around 8th and 9th of December. All right. So there were 2 sessions. You can also watch those sessions. All the best to all of you. Please do press the like button in case you have liked this session. And one reminder for all of you, SNAP 2021 detailed analysis and question paper discussion will be live in front of you on 8th of January at 2 p.m., where we'll be discussing expected cutoffs, difficulty level of the examination pattern, and good number of attempts. All right. So those who will be taking this examination on 8th of January, definitely you must join this session in order to have a look at your scores and expected cutoffs. People who will be taking this examination in third slot must also watch this session to have a correct idea about the third slot, which will be in front of you. All right. So next thing is people who are preparing well, who are expecting any of the calls from the colleges, must join this GDPI program that we have started for all of you. So some of the highlights are mentioned in on your screen about this program, and the sessions will be taken by IM alumni Srinivas sir and Gautam sir. All right. Now, people who are looking to join or to prepare for CAT 2022, you may join complete course batch number 5, which has already started. Some of the highlights are mentioned on the screen. This is the list of experts that we have on our panel. That's all from my dear friends. From my side, have a good day. All the best for slot 2. Be safe. Coronavirus is again like coming up. All right. So please be safe, be healthy. All the best. Have a good luck. Thank you.